We are hosts Tony and Dak, and in today's episode, we're going to be previewing our Divisional NFL Championship. Starting off with our first and 10, where we go through some injuries and questions. Just a couple quick injuries to touch on. Matt Stafford has a hand injury. Says the x rays came back fine, but something to keep an eye on. And then, as I mentioned in our recap video, if you haven't already, go watch that. Josh Allen was beaten up quite a bit in the last game. Hand injury, leg injury, and coming into the game with an ankle injury. All big things to keep an eye out for. And then James Cook also got shaken up a little bit in that game. So those are things to keep in mind. There's also some other
Um,
injuries, but
Nico Collins
Nico
is
Collins
probably not
also
gonna play this week.
got a concussion.
He has a concussion, but, like, not just a concussion, but he was carted off the field,
Hmm.
telling me that that concussion is insane. Like,
Yeah,
it's a big concussion because if you're not able to walk with a like, concussions, most players can walk with a concussion, it's not that
yeah,
bad, but if you can't walk and you're dizzy, that's a concussion,
probably real.
like,
Yeah, real bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably not playing this week.
Yeah, so just some things to keep your eye on if you're making some bets or if you're just trying to watch some ball and keep things in the loop. And on to some questions. Do we have any questions before we hop into our red zone segment?
I think a question I could throw off the top here to you. How does Nico Collins, not having Nico Collins affect the Texans offense? Because, I think the Texans offense kind of relied on their defense this week against the Steelers.
Yeah.
And going against a team like the Patriots, where the Patriots defense is pretty good. Christian Gonzalez is a pretty good receiver. You're going to rely on some rookies
He also has a
and
concussion.
he does? Okay.
Yeah.
And Jaden Higgins, and Noel,
Jalen Noel. Yeah.
Jaden Jalen Noel. So how does Nico Collins affect the Texans offense?
Yeah. I would say they're gonna have to rely on the run game more. Um, oh, who was it?
Woody Marks and
Woody.
Nick Chubb.
Well, yeah, Woody Marks and Nick Chubb, but I'm thinking the receiver. Christian Kirk had a really good game.
He did
He
step up
had like
well.
9 for 10 and like 100 plus
You know,
yards.
funny,
So,
funny, funny thing. I was watching First Take this morning,
mm,
and Stephen A. Smith says Charlie Kirk had a really good game this week, and then goes Molly. I think her name's Molly. She goes, "Sorry, Stephen A. Christian," and like really, really big backlash on ESPN. But yeah, Christian Kirk had a pretty darn good game for the Texans
you
on
know,
Monday night.
the more I think about it, the more I think they'll be fine because Higgins is basically Nico Collins, and he's also proven to be pretty darn good. So it
Yeah,
just comes down to how these rookies will perform
I'm
in the
I'm
playoffs.
excited.
So,
I'm excited for this receiving core in general because Tank
hmm
Dell is gonna return next year most likely.
yeah.
So Nico Collins and Tank Dell, like
And
Jaden Higgins, Jalen
Higgins,
Noel,
yeah. And maybe Christian
AFC
Kirk if they
South,
keep
watch
him
out.
around. Yeah.
Well, he's
They might mess
getting a
around.
boatload of money from the
Well,
Jags still.
the AFC South might have the best receiving cores
Dalton
in
Dalton
like the
Schultz
league
is
as a
really good.
division. Like the most well-rounded. Like the Jags have Parker Washington, Brian Thomas Jr., Jacoby Myers. Colts have Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman Jr.
Pittman's walk. Pittman's walking. He's gonna want way too much money. He's not gonna be a receiver next year for the Colts.
Okay, well, for now he is. And then
Yes.
Texans, you got Jaden Higgins, Nico Collins, Jalen Noel, maybe Tank Dell.
I, I don't know because I think the NFC West has something to say with that. Puka,
Yeah,
Devontae,
JSN.
Tutu Atwell. Then I guess the Niners is kind of a healthy Brandon Ayuk is
So is
maybe
the
there.
Cardinals. I mean,
Ricky
apparently, what's
P,
his face
Marvin,
popped off, but the Titans
Marvin
tanking.
Harrison.
I'm saying most
Yeah,
well-rounded. I'm not saying they have the star power, but like in terms of like
it's
having a
good.
receiving core, they have depth. Like we're talking about 4 or 5 receivers on the Texans that would be starters.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so after that, we have our red zone. Our red zone is where we go into our big chunk, our big body of the episode, kicking off with the Bills versus Broncos. I will be breaking down or previewing the AFC games. Dak will be going through the NFC games. Um, Bills versus Broncos. What I expect to see is a lot of defense. Both offenses are inconsistent, especially last week. And when the run game's not going, it makes it all the more difficult for Josh Allen because of the lack of offensive weapons. Brandon Cooks popped off last week, really, really saved them. But uh, Gabriel has been hurt and in and out, all that fun stuff. And Keon Coleman hasn't really had that breakout yet. So unless they can get James Cook going, it's going to be a lot of defense for the Bills. And then Allen and Cook's lingering injuries continue to drop Bills' effectiveness. In my mind, it really comes down to how well they heal from their injuries from last week, because that Broncos defense is no joke. My keys to victory for them is the Buffalo needs to get the run game going, whether it be James Cook, Frank Gore Jr., or Ray Davis. They have to get the run game going because it was rough for the Bills when they could not do anything. They still got it done because Josh Allen is insane and a great quarterback. But man, they really got to make it easier on him if they want to not only tire out the Broncos defense, but also just control the ball. Um, Denver, key to the victory is the defense. The defense has to show up. Josh Allen um, just scored. Well, Josh Allen and the Bills scored 27 points on a really good defense last week. I will not take any slander for the Jags. Their defense is very solid, and they really shut down the Bills' run game, and their
But
run game has been disgusting all year.
I would say that you can't necessarily rely on that because look at the injuries. Like look what the Bills had to do just to
Mm-hmm.
get 27 on the board against the Jags. You can't rely on that to a similar defense of the Denver Broncos. Like you can't. You got to get stops. You got to get your offense on the field.
Yeah.
Or get the run game going. Control the clock, and give yourself a better chance at winning. But on the flip side though, I think the Bills have to be careful with going three and outs too quick. I think
Mm-hmm.
they can get too aggressive in their play calls, throw three passes, clock stops, all three passes, boom, Denver has the ball again. And, that's a quick three and out. You maybe wasted 25, 30 seconds on the clock,
Yeah.
and then boom, your defense is right back out there again. The offense has to play complementary football to help that defense as well.
Yeah. And the last note that I have for the Denver Broncos, key to victory, is they have to get the pass rush going. The Bills don't have the best offensive line ever, and if you can keep Josh Allen on his toes, you might be able to get him feeling a little antsy. I wouldn't bet on it because Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and the world.
Just
Um,
sit in the pocket.
but getting that pass rush going early is going to be vital for the long game, especially in terms of yardage and punt and all that stuff. So, very important for the defense and the run game for the Bills and Broncos individually.
So I'm gonna break down first. I guess I'll just go ahead and do it. I'll break down the Niners and the Seahawks. As everyone knows, Niners fan here. Really big victory against the Eagles. You do lose your tight end and George Kittle, which is crazy. He got a tequila from
I
the
saw that.
suite, the owner's suite, which is pretty cool. But I guess it was downed before he left. So shout out my boy George Kittle, just a football guru, just crazy nut. I love him.
He's a lunatic.
But I think Kyle learned a lot from the Seahawks game in Week 18, and I think Kyle Shanahan knew like, hey, we're gonna see these guys again, and I don't think he threw everything at them that he could have Week 18. I think he saved a little bit in the tank. And it's like, hey, we're going to see these guys again in the playoffs. These guys are a good team. Obviously, you don't have Trent Williams week 18. You have Trent Williams now. I think that's a big, big, crucial guy. It improved here against the Eagles. I think the Eagles have a pretty good defense as well. They have a decent pass rush. Um, but it starts for me the 49ers on defense. You can be offense all you want, but you got to get some stops. And that defense scares me. I mean, the Indianapolis Colts and Philip Rivers did well against that defense. I think that defense is better now. I think with Fred being practicing again, I think it's able to help out these linebackers. I think the linebackers stepped up in a big way, but they're going to need to step up in a big way again, because if the run game can be solid for the Seahawks are going to win the game. I look back to week 18 with the Seahawks. It was 3rd and 18, and the Seahawks just turned around and gave the ball to Kenneth Walker, and he got a first down, just handing the ball off to that. You can't allow that to happen. You got to get the stops. And I think who runs the ball effectively Well is going to win this game. I think
Mhm.
either side. But I think it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, both teams played each other twice already, the week 1 and in week 18. Week 18 is a little fresh, and I think there's going to be, some bad blood here. But I think can Diamador Lenore shut down JSN continuously? Every time Lenore was lined up with JSN, Jason 0 yards, did nothing. Like, there was a pass interference call in the red zone, or in the end zone that put the ball in the 2 week 18, but Jason has been getting locked down by Diamanor Lenore. So can the rest of the defense step up and get a big win? I'm not counting out Kyle Shanahan. I don't know what we're going to see. Expect some crazy trick plays. Maybe expect Christian McCaffrey to throw the ball this week, but he's the gadget guy for this 49ers offense. And if Brock Purdy doesn't be the superhero and just plays his game and plays into Kyle Shanahan's offense, I'm not worried at all this week.
Yeah, I was looking to find actual like stats to go along with that, but because I don't have PFF, I couldn't find any. But Jackson Smith and Jigba did still have 84 yards in Week 18, so he's going to be
Did,
the
but
key guy to lock down.
none of them were against Diamo or Lenore. They moved him. They actually moved him away from Lenore in the offense.
I mean,
Pre
that's
snap.
that's what they should do because that's what makes
So
sense.
we'll
But
see. We'll
um,
see.
breaking down the Texans and Patriots game, it's going to be a schematic battle. Having Josh McDaniels versus the probably the best defense on the AFC side um, is going to be fun. Josh McDaniels, as much as I can't stand his guts as a head coach, he's a darn good offensive coordinator, and he's continued to do so with this season with Drake May and the Patriots. Keys to victory for these guys: Houston has to stop the explosive plays of the Patriots. They lead the league in explosive plays with 8.1% explosive play rate per sharp football analysis. Essentially, I don't know exactly what their ranking or what they define as explosive plays, but it's typically like a 25 plus yard play. So the Patriots lead that with Travion Henderson probably and Mac Hollins deep ball, and then probably some other running or receiver that Drake May just chucks it up
Kyle
to.
Williams.
Yeah. So that's going to be Houston's key to the stop, key to victory. And then New England has to get the run game going. Dialing up the run game reels in the defense for the explosive passing plays. So it's kind of a 1-2 punch. If you can get the run game going, get that defense to come in, shrink up the box, just dials up for the deep ball, makes your life a lot easier, gets your momentum going. As long as you can capitalize on the open plays, it's going to be a fun game, and it's going to be a lot of fun seeing how these guys match up against one another.
So obviously the other NFC game is the Bears Rams. I expect a high scoring game because the Bears, I don't think they can win this game is if they try to slow it down. I think because there's so much firepower for the
Mm-hmm.
Rams, it's going to be hard to slow them down. So they're going to have to outscore them. And I think the Bears have found themselves in a few games like that this year already, just how to outscore them. I mean, that's what they kind of had to do against the Packers. You got to outscore them in the second half. Um, and I mean, yes, that's football, but it's a little bit more than just football because that's a style of game that you just have to play. And I think that's what they're gonna have to do. It's the first time the Bears are playing the Rams since 1985 in the playoffs. And guess what happened in 1985? It's the 85 Bears. Um, Coincidence? Maybe not. I don't think Caleb Williams is a Super Bowl winning caliber quarterback, but in 3 weeks, if that happens, okay. Yeah, 3 weeks. If that happens, I will shut my mouth. Um, but can the Rams effectively run the ball and open up the pass game? I think that's going to help them because you do have those weapons. But can the Bears defense stiffen up in the red zone and not allow touchdowns? Because that's what the Rams do. They score touchdowns in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Can the Bears get stops, force field goals, and go score on their own, and hit those receivers? Hit Colson Loveland that he's been playing well. Can DeAndre Swift get some big runs? Can Mordecai, step in when or yeah Mordecai? I think this is his last name.
Kyle
One
Manungai?
one
Manungai,
Manungai.
yeah.
Sorry, Manungai. Can he step in and catch the ball out of the backfield and, the 7 to 8 carries that he gets, can he get 50 to 60 yards in those
Hmm.
carries and be effective? I think run game again is crucial in the NFL. Teams that run the ball well and play good defense win Super Bowls. That's why the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year. Can they effectively run the football? Either one of these teams open up the pass game. I think the Rams, I give them the benefit of the doubt here because their pass game is so efficient. The run game should be more efficient because you
Hmm.
have to respect Devontae Adams and Puka Nakua and the speed of Tutu Atwell. You have to respect it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the Bears utilize all their weapons as well. Like, yeah, the Rams have a lot of weapons, but the Bears do too. Colston Loveland is, as we've talked about, is a threat. Roma Dunze came back with a vengeance last week. DJ Moore
Yeah.
shouldn't be slept on. He's older, but he's still an effective player. And then Luther Burden has been good in spurts as well. And
Yeah.
then, like you mentioned as well, DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monungai, they've picked it up this year as it's gone on. And Ben Johnson is one of the best offensive minds in the league as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how Chris Shula, the defensive coordinator for the Rams, does against Ben Johnson, who I'm pretty sure they're pretty familiar with one another as well, coming from the Lions as well. So pretty sure they've had a couple of run-ins. But that'll finish up our red zone segment. Let's get into our extra point. Our extra point is going to be our last point for the episode. Hot take. Last thing you want to say. Today, I have a hot take. So we're going to keep this playoffs based. Um, but there's been a lot of head coaches that have been fired like recently that you'd be like, wow, I didn't expect him to go. You got Harbaugh, Mike McDaniel could have been that way. Kevin Stefanski. I raise you Sean McDermott. If the Bills lose this Sunday, this weekend, I don't remember what day they play, Sean McDermott could get the can, and that could be why so many
I,
coaches are waiting to
I
be.
don't see that as a hot take. I honestly would so agree with that hot take because there has been questions.
Mm,
I question the play calling all the time of Sean McDermott. And that's why I said earlier, those 3 and outs, I've seen them repeatedly. Yes, you have Josh
mm,
Allen, but you also have James Cook. You also had a holdout of him giving him, I think you're giving him 18 million. I don't necessarily see that as a hot take. I think that's just a take. Because if you don't win the Super Bowl,
mm.
if you don't even make the Super Bowl this year, that's a
Yeah.
problem. There's no uh Patrick
Superpower.
Mahomes.
There's no superpower in the AFC right
There's
now.
there's no you have a bunch of young quarterbacks, a Bo Nix, a Drake May, like CJ Stroud. These guys haven't played in the NFL longer than 4 years.
Hold on.
Josh Allen probably has played more playoff games than all of them combined. Like I I seriously agree with that take. I don't think it's a hot take at all.
Um,
There shouldn't be an excuse.
I need to find a tweet real quick. So there was a tweet that I saw from Spot Track, however the heck you say it,
Yeah.
going over all of the um, salaries of the quarterbacks still in the playoffs. Um,
Josh Allen's probably
yeah,
way
okay.
above
So
everybody
the
else.
final 8 quarterbacks by contract, AAV, I don't know what that means, but
Yeah.
um,
Annual value. It's
something. Josh
annual
Allen,
something.
55
Yeah.
million. Brock Purdy, 53 million. Matt Stafford,
Yeah.
42 million. Sam Darnold, this is the redhead of the group, 33.5 million. I would never pay Sam Darnold that much money. Caleb Williams, 9.8 million. Drake May, 9.1 million. CJ Stroud, 9 million. Bo Nix, 4.6 million. This is full proof that having a quarterback on a rookie contract is so vital. Because if
Yeah.
you can have that quarterback, the person who most likely makes the most money on your team for cheap and he can be effective, your team is set up for playoff
And I
contention
think
as long as you can knock it out of the park.
and I think that's why the Giants is such a sought out position because you have a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal that has proven that he can ball. You have weapons around them. You have a defense that I think is better than what people think. You get the right people in there, the right personnel. the right play calling. I think that's why the Giants is such a sought out position because they have a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal. And I think if you're a guy that's like, okay, maybe I take a shot at the Raiders, you're gonna probably get a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal.
You're
You can
getting a
mine
rookie
that
quarterback on
team.
a rookie deal.
You can mold that team into the team that you want. And I think that's crucial. And I think it's another reason why I think McDermott can get the can was because it, he had a young quarterback and had all the chances in the world with Josh Allen on that rookie deal. Then he gets the bigger money. Okay, we got to build around it. Boom. Again, if John Harbaugh is getting the can, anybody can get the can in the NFL.
Yeah.
Maybe not Kyle Shanahan, but
Quickly looking up two different quarterbacks who have been since extended. Kyler Murray and Jordan Love, two quarterbacks who have been in the playoffs but not consistently. Jordan Love's kind of a bad example, but Kyler Murray made the playoffs last in his third season before extension. And then Jordan Love first made the playoffs in 2023, his third year as well. So further goes to show that you can build your team around your quarterback
look
so
at the
much better.
success. Look at the success the 49ers have had since bringing in Brock Purdy.
Oh, they got
Everyone
bailed out
forgets that
too. So,
everyone forgets that they had to get they were about to pay Trey Lance a bunch of money, right? They picked him that high. If Brock Purdy doesn't save them there, they're in a world full of hurt. But
mm,
because he's on a Mr. Irrelevant contract,
was.
the 49ers were able to do what they did. Again,
Mm-hmm.
that is crucial to have a rookie quarterback on a rookie type of deal.
Yeah.
And being able to do that, and now I think did he get paid this offseason or last
I
offseason?
think it was this offseason because
This
it's
offseason.
just now setting in for this upcoming
Yes.
season.
So like he's now Brock Purdy has only lost 2 playoff games in his career. Okay, I want to remind everybody. One in which he started the game and left early in the first quarter because he had the elbow issue. I don't necessarily count that as a loss, but it's still a loss. The other in which he went into overtime and never even got to touch the ball in the Super Bowl. 2 losses that I don't necessarily think that are in his control.
Him scoring in the second half of the Super Bowl is in his control. I will listen. I will never let
Fair
the
enough.
49ers live that one down.
I think that's more play calling because Kyle Shanahan is known to do that in the Super
I
Bowl.
have rooted for the 49ers twice in my life. Both times they've let me down.
Fair enough, but maybe one loss and in his control. Brock Purdy, rookie deal, proves that you can do it. My hot take here 49ers will beat the Seahawks this weekend and will go to the NFC Championship game for another, um, oh goodness gracious, Kyle Shanahan and,
Sean McVay.
Sean McVay. I was about to say Sean McDermott, but
Nope.
Sean McVay. Um, both from the
So
same
you're writing
same
off the
coaching
Bears,
tree.
huh?
Really? Oh, yeah, easily. I'm
Let
writing the Bears off.
me just clip that one.
NFC West is the most dominant league in the NFL.
Division of the NFL.
I call them a league because they're always the one in the NFC Championship game. Maybe the Packers here and there, but
I
it's
mean, you could say
normally the
the same thing
49ers.
about the AFC West.
Yeah, that's fair. The West are just the West is only good in football, but any other sport, they're just
Yeah.
college football, nobody wins from the West. College basketball, nobody ever wins from the West. The NBA, you had the Lakers, but
The
I'm pretty sure
Warriors.
all the rest they haven't. I mean, yeah, I guess, but OKC is kind of I consider the Midwest, Boston, Miami. Like, okay, maybe a little bit of the NBA. I guess the Dodgers.
Miami and Boston are on the total opposite side.
I'm saying they're East. That's why
Yeah.
the East Coast
Okay.
has just been more
Just
dominant.
making sure you're right. Just making sure you have it in
Yes,
your brain right.
but I guess the Dodgers for baseball. That's because they just pay everybody, and baseball is just different.
Yeah, baseball doesn't count. Baseball's not even.
Yeah,
It's a fake
I don't
sport.
count salaries,
It's a real
but yeah,
sport, but it's a fake league. I don't know if
count
that's
the
too.
WWE.
Hey, don't talk about my wrestling like that. Um, I don't know if that's a crazy take either. I have been known to be a Sam Darnold hater, and I will continue to toot that horn.
I hope
Uh,
he sees ghosts this week. I just hope he sees them.
I'm not going to go out and say the 49ers are going to beat the Seahawks just because that defense is disgusting. But I am going to say that I do not trust Sam Darnold. and I am going to go out and say that this is the hardest week of pick'ems that I've ever had to do in my entire life.
What
Pick'ems and
happened to the
survivors.
Vikings last year when they in the playoffs? Who did they lose to?
Yes, I don't know, but I know Sam Darnold got sacked 9
Wasn't it
times.
the Lions or was it the Commanders
I'll tell you in about five
or was
seconds.
it the Eagles?
Listen, are you just going to keep listing off NFC names, NFC
Well, it
teams?
was those three teams that were in contention. The
Uh,
Eagles played the Commanders in the NFC Championship game.
oh, here we go. The Rams. Yeah,
Yeah,
he got
yeah,
obliterated by the Rams.
yeah. And if all I'm saying is if Nick Bosa is healthy and Fred Warner are healthy, there's no and if or buts about this
Is
game.
is
The Niners are
Michael
going to win
Williams
this.
just toast? Like, what happened to him?
Torn ACL, he's done for the year.
Oh, I have a signed card by him. I was
That's what
hoping
I'm
he could
saying. The
be
Niners
good.
need to figure out what's going on with his power plant.
Oh yeah, a whole lot of stuff. But that'll wrap up our preview for the NFL divisional round. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if you haven't already. Go watch the recap video as well. We break down a lot of stuff, get into some overreactions, all that fun stuff. And then we also have a Tailing with TD episode coming out. I don't think we have a bet set up, but go ahead and take a peek at that with our weekly pick'ems, survivors, and see how this league year shakes out for the pick'ems, because it's been quite the venture for both of us. We've had quite the runs. But without further ado, we'll get you guys on your way. See you guys in the next episode. Peace.